Why two? Hope everybody having a smooth Friday, man. Listen, we need to bring shame back to society, bro. Honestly. Now, a couple people might disagree with me and say I'm judging others or whatever, but it doesn't matter, bro. We kind of right now, we live in a shameless society, bro. When I say shameless society, it's like, I think back to when I was in like middle school, bro. That was like 2000, early 2000s, fam. There was a lot of things that people wouldn't be so open about doing and expressing that to the public, bro. Now it's very different, fam. I'm not gonna lie. Like now, when you look at streamers, rappers, big artists, influencers, all of these people, bro, are literally doing things that are shameful, and they have no moral principles or whatsoever to like have that sense of shame. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna give an example. Like back then, I used to have the swift fingers, bro. To the point I used to snatch things up. One day I got caught. You know what I mean? They had to call my pops about me having a 5 finger discount. It was shameful. It was very shameful because it was kind of like that's not an act that I was proud of doing. Stealing. When I look at a lot of these big streamers, because listen, bro, I'm not gonna name drop anybody. These people are tied in with the powers to be. They're gonna get an attorney, lawsuit, this and that. When you start, discussing the shameful acts that they're pushing, they come for you. So there's been a few big streamers that kind of like you can go do your research and you see these guys have no shame, bro. One in particular just got exposed by his girlfriend. His girlfriend, she must have been with this guy for a long time. Said this guy used to send nude photos of himself to the opposite sex for money. As a man, it's like if you're not on the other side of the spectrum doing that, it's shameful, it's weird, it's kind of like, oh, what's up with you, bro? You good? And he got online on X to defend himself, and he said that he has no shame. He would do this again. Why? Because he was making $1,000 for doing this, for exposing himself to other men. Apparently, he would rather sacrifice his dignity and respect than work a normal job where he might have been making 700, 600. There's only like a 400 difference. So you have this big streamer who is basically justifying a shameful act. Like, bro, you low key like a male prostitute, gang. Now, if you was to call somebody like that a male prostitute, they would get upset. But it's like, yo, bro, what you're doing is close to prostitution. It's just on a photographic level as compared to a physical level. But the same streamer, bro, goes on to say he doesn't care. He will do this again because he made $1,000 each time. It's the most money he's ever made compared to working. But then it's like it gotta be like an algorithm that pushes these people, bro. Cause recently this same streamer that was just exposed about 2 weeks ago is now being praised for being one of the only streamers to model for two big brands, big name brands, designer brands. I'm not gonna name drop, but just do your research. He's quote unquote the only streamer to model for both brands. Like, bro, who cares about you modeling for both of those brands? For a fact, I know you had to do more than just sell new photos to get that type of position, but we need to bring the shame back into society, bro, because there's a lot of people who just want to go viral or just want to be signed to a record deal or just want to have clout again that are literally doing and pushing shameful acts, bro. A lot of shameful acts. There's another big streamer that really just got the clout back again and is clouded again. This man is wearing Scottish outfits. Nah, like when I say Scottish outfits, like think about the skirt. You feel me? I was kind of thinking because this main streamer had a beef with another main streamer who's on the conscious tip, and he basically exposed this guy for being really tied in with the powers to be. So while I'm watching his stream, I'm noticing like, yo, bro, he got on a skirt for real. Like what? Then in the whole time he was throwing up certain symbols, but then when I go back to that beef that he had with that conscious streamer, it's like okay, it makes sense how he's now revamped and he has his clout again. Because he had to do a lot of shameful acts. A lot of people behind closed doors are doing shameful acts and they're coming forward and putting it out in the public to justify it being normal. It's not normal, bro. We have to go back to where shameful acts are shamed. You have a lot of IG models on Twitter saying the most absurd, freaky, geeky, you know what I mean? Like statements and stories. And it's like, yo, bro, that's something you might want to keep to yourself. That's shameful. We shouldn't kind of praise you for a shameful act. We should really make fun of you, bro. Growing up, when I was growing up, it's like I grew up in an era where your friends would talk about you because you ain't know how to read, to the point you had to learn how to read, because back then they make us read out loud. So imagine you can't read. We go to the lunch table with my man, like, bro, you don't even know how to read, bro. Like, boy, yo, dyslexic, you know what I mean? To the point where you got shamed so bad, you want to go learn how to read. But it was kind of somewhat beneficial for people. But it's like it kind of made society to be shameless, to kind of push a lot of these people, bro. We need to get back to where, somebody talks about you to the point where you kind of want to convert or change your characteristics, or not do shameful acts, or not sacrifice dignity and morals. We need to get back to that, bro. I'm looking across the board and I'm seeing every streamer, every influencer, every gamer just do shameful acts. There's a guy who literally has no clout. His only clout is to use his aunt's OnlyFans to gain subscribers and clout and watchers. But the people he's trying to do this from are kids. So it's a shameful act. These are shameful acts. We need to get back to shaming individuals, bro. Whether you roasting them a little bit, frying them a little bit, because what that does is kind of like, it's like a self-awareness. It's like, okay, you might have this thing in your mind that what you're doing is normal, and it's like when you go around those who are normal, they dish you. Now you go back at home and you think about it like, hold on, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I gotta change this up. You know what I mean? From even people talking to younger women online, like, or older women wanting younger men online with grooming. Yo, bro, we gotta start shaming these people. We gotta start shaming that's doing shameful acts to restore principalities and morale back to the society, bro. We gotta start, bro. We gotta start. We gotta bring shame back somehow. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but it's too many individuals who are shameless in today's society, and that really leads to the degenerate behavior that we see, man. But let me know what y'all think about this, fam.